feel like we need a theme song.
We do.
Hey, everybody, we're live. We're streaming.
Do the finger guns, please.
Oh, yeah, no. Why do we do finger guns? What's up, everybody? Oh, everybody's already saying hi to Megan. Tracy's not even saying hi to me. Thanks a lot, Tracy. Appreciate it. Gonna shout out. Oh, Megan.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
It's a kid alarm.
Get your shit together.
That's the theme song.
That's the theme song. Mom, where's my dinner? What's up, everybody? I gotta give a shout out to my son. Oh, good Lord, what happened there? My son is up in here. Hey, Baxter. He called me. He's like, Dad, I'm gonna watch your live stream while I'm doing my homework. Get that homework done, Holmes.
Hey, Australia.
Everybody's here. I am going to give just a few seconds, let some people log in, everybody get here, and then we're going to introduce a special guest. Oh, we're just good. Oh my gosh. Watch this. You guys are going to see real time what's going on.
What's happening?
What's up, dude? What are you doing?
Hey, Bax.
Bruh, I'm live on YouTube right now.
What's up, dude? It's laggy.
Okay. Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye.
Whose what man voice was that?
Me.
No.
It was lagging.
It was Baxter.
Oh, it was
It was,
like,
Baxter
the,
goes,
it
"It's
was the
lagging."
man that was
I was like, why is there a man in?
And Megan's like, well, who's a man talking? I'm a man. What is that from?
I'm not a boy.
I'm not
I'm
a girl. I'm a man. There he goes.
All
It's
right.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There he goes. I'm not a girl. I'm a boy. I'm the man. Oh, Tom Holland, you charmer. All right, let's introduce Kyle Strahm.
Hey, Kyle.
Kyle
You're right next
is
to me.
Kyle, all the things you are: artist, friend, professor. I like saying professor. I add it. Everybody's just like, Kyle's artist. I'm like,
Professor.
He's a goddamn professor.
Mm-hmm.
And he wears professor cardigans.
It's true, I do.
You
Yes.
rock them.
Those leather elbows.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Glasses and the whole bit.
Mhm. I got a little bit of professorial gray in my beard.
Oh, you're getting there. I started to get that stripe hardcore. So yeah, we got the whole squad tonight. Megan, John, and Kyle's joining us. We're going to talk about, Kyle and I co-created a new comic book called Twig that we will talk about at some point once everybody starts getting in here. Oh, there's Jim. Oh, Jim, you know where Jim went? Jim off food went to KCAI.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Yeah, he's up in here watching tonight. But I have to bring Jim on in a little bit once we get this
Hi,
thing
Jim.
cooking. Kyle, cheers. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Kyle.
everybody.
For having me.
John has his Diet Cokes locked and
I'll
ready to
cheers
go.
to your Diet Coke.
We're going to go Forzy style
I'm
on
gonna make
this.
it real awkward. This is my drink in front of Megan. Here we go.
All right. So thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. We're here for our regular Wednesday chat and hang. Well, I guess we could just go ahead and dive in, Kyle. It was announced
Yeah.
last week and solicited
It
this
was
week.
a week ago. It seems like 3 weeks ago.
I know. We have a new book coming out at Image Comics called Twig. Oh, there it is. That's our preview book, which we will be giving away some of these later, right?
Oh, yeah.
Megan?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to make you guys sign them. We'll ship them out.
Twig is something that goes all the way back to our friends, the Hopeless's twins' birthday party, right? Like that'd be
Yeah,
that.
wow.
That's
No,
the first
it
conversation.
it was when you visited Kansas City to see if you wanted to move here.
Right.
That was when we
Oh, wow.
first talked about.
We
doing
talked about
something.
doing something,
Okay, but yeah, Twig was.
but the idea of like what genre and what we would do, I remember being out on the porch. It was rainy that day at the twins' birthday party. It's like their 4th or 5th birthday
I
party.
remember. Yeah.
And I was like, I love Kyle's sketchbooks. Kyle draws all the time. And in his sketchbook, I was used to seeing his comics. Your comics were always like spread at the time was horror and monsters and things like that, but very human based, and then creatures. right?
Mhm.
But your sketchbooks are filled with all types of like crazy critters
Yeah.
and really imaginative. Like, again, in my mind, it's just like Kyle designs puppets and maquettes of cool throwback creatures. And I was like, man, I feel like you need to draw a book like that. And then we kept talking. I was like, I would totally write a book like that. And by the end of that birthday party, we were like, let's do a thing. So yeah, what was it about those original kind of talks that got you excited about doing something like that and diving in?
Well, I think we talked about all that stuff that we like the movies we liked from the 80s, like the weird, they're all kids movies,
Right.
but they all have like a dark underbelly that maybe kids probably shouldn't be watching.
Right.
And now, yeah, those wouldn't fly now, right?
Right. Though I will say, like, we liked the Dark Crystal when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere along the process of us making this project, the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance came out.
Yeah, we were like, it's got to be like that.
And we're like,
politics.
You're right. And we were like, man, they're like killing people and eating souls or whatever. And it was pretty dark. And we sort of like, oh, this is still possible. But yeah, we got a little overly into the nature of a grand world at first. So for people who don't know, we're going to get some insight information here. Pre-pandemic, when we first kicked this off, Kyle and I would go have lunch at the Peanut. We'd take our laptops and our notebooks, and we built this big geopolitical.
There's a lot of really weird creatures talking.
Right, because if you know Kyle and I, we're really geopolitical. We're just like all up in those guts on a regular basis. But we built this. We really was like, oh, let's do this big, epic, massive scope war. Epic. Like, it was armies and all types of. We had like betrayals and
like Machiavellian
subterfuge. Yes, very big. And it was cool, but what happened was, and this is kind of the beauty of us being able to do this and talk about it, and us all actually being friends here in Kansas City and hanging out, is we all got hit with the pandemic, and a group of people who spent almost every day together during a work week, all of a sudden we were all separated at our homes, and that book didn't feel fun as much. And also, we were a little scared of what was going to happen with the industry.
Mm-hmm. Well, nobody knew. Yeah, everything was shut down.
Right. So we were like, do we need to pause this for a second?
Well, we would have a meeting like every 2 weeks, and we'd be like, maybe this is what we do, because the landscape had changed completely. So we'd be like, maybe this is how we should proceed. And then 2 days later, something else would have fallen out.
Yeah, a bit of information would come out. We're like, maybe we'll self-publish. Maybe we'll kickstart. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do that. And Image was always our original home. It was already greenlit. Everything was fine. But the future was so uncertain. But there was also something that happened to us, I think, as creators, which was this thing was so big and heavy. And we're living in a place we're feeling the weight of the real world and all this, the political stuff we're going through in the real world. And so we just paused it. And in the middle of our pause, we started, I think I hit you up one day. It was like, hey, are we telling the right story?
That's exactly what you said. Because we had started pages.
Yeah.
There are like 10 pages drawn of a completely different story.
Right.
And I was looking back at it, and it's mostly like all these fantastic creatures, like in a council, like just talking to each other.
Right.
And yeah, that's what you said. You were like, is this right? Should we be doing this? And then
right. It felt like our initial intention of a hero character going on a big adventure to save something was getting lost in our lofty attempts to be bigger than I think that our instincts usually are. And we were punching above our weight class a little bit. And I don't mean that in skill level. I just mean like in our fun level, in what the kind of creators that you and I are. And so I just remember that conversation being like, what if, and I felt terrible because you had already drawn 10 pages, but we also didn't know that even those 10 pages were ever going to see the light of day, because this is the beginning of 2020. And once we had that conversation, I think both of us got invigorated by the project. And once we zoned in on Twig as a character and his mission, it just became way more attainable and fun.
Way more fun. And that's the
Yeah.
whole point.
Right.
And that's what we always talk about, is that we like fun comics.
Right.
And those are the kinds of comics we want to make. So
Right. I realized what was also happening is you get in your head, like the kind of writer I think that we both are, and the kind of artist that we both are, is we come up with big set pieces, and then we like list a bunch of cool set pieces. And for those who don't know what a set piece is, it's basically like the big action sequence in a movie. That's the beautiful eye candy. And so you list a bunch of potential set pieces, and then you plot out your story. And as you start plotting, you're aiming at those set pieces. But when you have a story as big as we were trying to tell, with like warring factions and the industrial complex taking over nature and all this stuff, I started to realize as I'm writing it, like, Kyle's not going to have very much fun. Like, this is not a fun book to draw, you know?
I remember once we were at the Peanut and we were talking about politics and this machine that's destroying the environment. And we talked for an hour. And then some guy who'd been drinking the whole time at the bar, he was like, "You guys are talking about some important stuff now."
I remember that. And it also occurred to me in that same conversation where I said, "Are we doing the right thing?" I was like, I feel like I'm writing a book about politics, and I genuinely, if people start talking politics while I'm in the room, I'm like,
you're out.
"Please shut up! Just stop it!" And it's not because I agree with all my friends on almost all topics, but it numbs me to death in that way. So I was like, I can't believe I'm trying to do this kind of book. So we just changed it up, and the book's way better for it. We've had a ton of fun. I mean, I even texted Kyle today. I was like, I'm almost done with an issue that he's going to start drawing. And I was like, it's got some emotion and tons of eye candy, which between you and John, you've just been like,
oh man, John,
so
beautiful work he's doing on that.
It's
so good.
Amazing. Kyle, what were your influences on what Twig was going to look like? And has he always maintained this general appearance, or as it?
Well, the first Twig was like a little naked man, like a little.
I think I saw that. Was that the one we taped on our office door?
That might have just been a drawing of me naked. No, Twig was like a little. He was, because the way we started after we had all our conversations.
Right.
I went away and just did a bunch of concept drawings.
Right.
And in order to fuel that, came up with a narrative in my head that eventually we abandoned. But I was like, these are all cave dwellers. They're all, it was Fraggle Rock.
Oh, Fraggle Rock.
We were talking about
that was the conversation.
So much Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, that was the conversation that Jesse's for the kids' birthday was.
Yeah.
You should be drawing a Fraggle Rock book.
Uh-huh. And so the first Twig was a little bald, naked Fraggle. He didn't look like a Fraggle.
No, at all.
And then
But he did have a little pee-pee.
He did.
A
Yeah.
little dangling pee-pee.
It
Yeah.
was,
And I was like, I knew Kyle was going to draw a pee-pee.
it was conspicuous. And then Skottie's first note was, I think we make this guy furry. I think he needs to be fuzzy.
I think it's not skin. This is getting gross. I think we make this guy furry.
Because I was like, you put this guy on a cover of a #1 issue with this, it looked like a hairless cat with a little dick just hanging there. Sorry, kids.
I wish you had that
that.
drawing to show.
We do have that drawing.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know how to screen share, but we'll share it in a post on the making of.
But yeah, and then then I just did tons of drawings of him in my sketchbook and trying to figure stuff out. And eventually we landed on actually the first drawing where we thought that's it, that's Twig was
Right.
the drawing that's on the preview cover.
Right, which he's still changed from that. Like, you really have hammered him out.
Yeah, because this guy on the cover can only make one face.
The first version that we thought we landed on we ended up going away from that because we kind of felt like all the beings here should feel like original beings from whatever world we're creating. And he
Oh,
looked,
right.
and that one looked a little bit like an otter.
Yeah, he did. I remember. I forgot all about
Yeah,
that.
or like a weasel or something. Like he had like a little bit of a, so he looked a little bit more earthly with fantasy elements
He
on
had a
him.
nose.
Right.
And he had lots of funny hats. And yeah, I remember.
Right. Yeah. So that was where we first landed. And then I can't remember. There was definitely an image in your sketchbook. It was probably this one. It was something similar. That we were like, oh yeah, this is totally the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't look quite that crazy all the time anymore.
Awesome.
Well, should we do we just kick things off with a giveaway?
Yeah, do it.
What are we gonna give away, guys?
Well, we're gonna give away some signed copies, but if you guys are up for it, I thought you could remark a couple for our boss level subscribers.
Yeah, let's do it. Kyle, you want to draw on one and then pass it
Sure.
over?
Okay, I'm gonna put a banner up here.
I haven't done a remark in a long time. Your pens?
I do. Do you have pens over there, Kyle?
I got this thing.
All righty. And I got a thicker Sharpie if you need any outlining to do.
Right.
So yeah, we've had a blast. We've had an absolute blast creating this book, working on this book, and most of it took place again when the world was shut down and we were home alone. So it's today or this week being John. You just brought us the previews that you went and grabbed.
Mm-hmm.
So I said earlier I was probably more excited for my first creator-owned book, I Hate Fairyland, to be in previews than I was for it to actually be on the shelves, because I grew up buying the previews once a month, like an art book almost.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to draw more out of looking at art in previews than I did almost anything. So it's pretty exciting to see that solicited. So you can go and pre-order Twig now from any of your local comic book shops, your online comic book shops, wherever you get comics. You can go ahead and pre-order issue number 1. We have a lot of really cool, variant covers. Got a lot of incentive covers coming straight from us. There's a lot of cool retailer variants that we're approving already. So
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We're pretty excited. But for us, for Kyle and I, this thing has been, we've talked about this thing for, it's weird to say it doesn't feel like it, but it also does. But we've been talking about it for years and been working on it for a few years. So the idea now that everybody knows about it, and in months, people are going to be able to start reading it's pretty cool. I'm pretty pumped.
Somebody's asking when the first order cutoff is for Twig. And just the previous work just came out today, so I mean it's what?
It's 3 months. Final order cuts are usually two and a half months or something like that.
Yeah,
So I'd say final order cutoff is usually about two weeks before it ships.
so mid-April.
Something like that. Yeah, probably mid-April.
Yeah.
We will let you know. Sign up for the Substack at scottieyoung.substack.com and subscribe to that. Free. You can do a free, paid, whatever. We send out all those kind of updates. Megan and John and everybody will definitely make sure you guys all know when that stuff will be available. Ooh, this is going to be one of those weird ones because I've drawn Twig like twice.
Uh-huh.
All right. You guys take over while I do some doodling.
Somebody asked about explaining the levels of subscription on Substack.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
There is a really good explanation on the landing page at Skottie's newsletter, and that is scottieyoung.substack. That's a tongue twister. scottieyoung.substack.com.
Sure.
And basically, there's a free level, which is the newsletter. Then there's monthly and annual subscribers, which get downloads of past sketchbooks. There's prize giveaways like during these live streams that we only give to paid level. There's boss level, which will get 2 covers.
I Hate Fairyland.
I Hate Fairyland. It's 2 covers, right? For I
Yeah.
Hate Fairyland.
2 copies of this of an exclusive variant only available to boss level subscribers.
We're not going
on
to sell that
Substack.
in the store at all. That's just going to go to boss level. So going to be super, super rare. And some Zoom hangouts for boss level just with Skottie. It's pretty cool. But anyway, if you go to scottieyoung.substack.com, right there on the front, it tells you exactly what you get for each of the levels.
And the cool thing is we're constantly coming up with stuff all the time to
Yeah.
add to it and be like, well, you'll come in and be like, hey, should we do this? Or John will be like, hey, is it cool for us to give the statue away? And like, let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
So we're constantly coming up with stuff that will entice everybody. And just so you know, the subscriptions are the thing that is making it possible for us to publish all the comics that were all the Untold Tales of I Hate Fairyland that we're publishing there. It's helping us hire editors and designers and everything to make more creator-owned comics that we get to make and bring directly to you. No middleman, no wall, no permission asked. It's just a bunch of comics and stuff that we want to make. And outside of Untold Tales of Fairyland, I have a couple of cool projects that I'm dying to get to. And I think everybody's going to kill me if I don't get to it. So I'm pretty pumped.
FYI, your son is cheating on math in the comments, and people are answering his math questions.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have to... Baxter, go do your homework, please. All right. Let's see. Let me throw it up here. So some remarks by me and Kyle.
Awesome.
All right. So I'm going to hand this over to the crew. You guys, excuse me for a second. I'm about ready to snitch on my son.
All right, I'm going to turn that banner off.
Kyle Shark is asking, how long does it usually take to make one book?
Oh, very long time. It's a very long
Kyle was
time.
like going to leave. He's like, fuck you. Who asked this?
Itchy Shark.
Fuck you, Itchy Shark. How long does it take you to make a book?
It took me months to make a book.
Yeah.
It took me a very long time.
But people don't know, you are a professor at Kansas City Art Institute.
Uh-huh. And while we've been working on this, I was writing a book called Into Radness that
Yep.
a guy named Jake Smith is drawing, which you can check that out too. That's coming from Dark Horse in the summer. And actually, I'm very pleased that I've cleared my plate completely. So these last couple of issues are all I have. But it takes a while for me.
And you were co-writing Unearthed for a long
Oh,
time.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That was so long ago.
But that's
before the pandemic. Yeah.
right. But you were also
Uh-huh.
that. So you definitely were juggling a lot, and the pandemic. I mean, it did not do well on a lot of our brains and our management of time. So
It's really weird to books that feel like they came out a year ago came out 3 years ago because we all lost so much time.
right.
But yeah,
Right.
right. Pass it on to Jean. It doesn't take him this long. He's doing beautiful.
God,
Can't
Jean
sing
is
his
just-
praises enough. So
John
good.
is crushing it. Nate Picos is crushing it on letters, and
and logo.
That
and
logo.
I
Logo.
mean, that logo
everything.
is
the
It's so
more
perfect.
time that we get away from that original design that he sent us, the more I love it. Like, here's a story about the logo. So let me hold up another copy. So you got it too there, Megan. So here's the logo.
everybody hold up a twig.
Let me
All right,
get in here. Let me get in this. Oh, there's Kyle. Kyle's holding up the logo. Booyah. So the cool thing about this logo is Nate hand draws everything. Like when he does logos, it's not like he's just picking a font and adjusting a font. He gets in there and he starts working some stuff out. He sent us this, and Kyle and I were both like, God, this is really good.
He sent us this because for this preview we had to have something. We had to have
Right.
a logo.
And you drew that image, and we
Uh-huh.
just handed him that image and said, can you do something, just to fit this for now? We also said, whatever we use here, it doesn't have to be the final, because we wanted a preview book, and we had tons of time before it was published. And he sent us this logo, and we were like, oh, this is really good. But we also felt like, are we gonna? And he didn't seem that happy with it, right? He was like, well, I don't know. And we're like, well, we have to have him do a couple more passes just because. And then he sent some more passes.
They were all good.
They were all good. Every single pass Nate sent us was great. But then we couldn't let go. Like this became, it was like,
Mhm.
why are we redesigning the logo? And it was like, well, you just nailed it on the first go. So Nate crushed it. I love this logo now. I want this on a shirt. I think it looks beautiful on your first cover.
Oh yeah.
It just looks great.
It's everything we wanted it to be. Because when we do this, we talk a lot about what should the vibe of this book be? What should
Right.
it feel like? And we relayed all that to him, and he's like, "Here you go,"
Right.
and he nailed it.
And I can't stress this enough that we have been, because we all live near each other. We all live in Kansas City, and we all work together for a long time. Man, there's nothing better than creating something in person and having these random chats where you pop over to my office, we go to the Peanut or whatever we do, where we're like, had this idea. And there's something about seeing everybody's body language and their enthusiasm for a thing that where you even go like, well, I mean, even if in my head that wasn't where I was heading, you can't deny an excitement level for something. And you're like, I'll make it work. Sure, you'll make it work. You know, like versus like just seeing an email. Hey, I had an idea that this would be happening. And usually I'm like, well, no.
Well, this book, more than any other thing I've ever worked on, we just pivot constantly.
Right.
And I mean, the biggest example of that is just abandoning all the work we've done and being like, here, we're starting over.
Sure.
But that's what's good about the collaboration. I think is
but that's what I love about comics. Like comics to me I never feel more alive than when I'm improving. There's something fun about writing yourself to a point, stopping, and then being like, I can figure the rest out later, you know? But it does, because the good thing about, the question that came up that said, how long does it take to make a book? The good thing about you taking a while is it gives me time to think more things. And the book has, honestly, the story has probably grown to better heights because I got to rethink and to go, okay, I ended here. Where's the next stage? And I'd be like this. And I mean, we had an idea for the ending. I'm not going to ruin it, but we had an idea for the ending. But because there was a big gap, I had a new idea for the similar setting, but a brand new one that I'm like is my favorite part of the book now. But at that time allowed me to improv it better, So yeah, I love that stuff.
I have a winner for the remarked book.
All right.
Can I say? You want to show it, John?
Is it me? Did I win it?
No. All right. That is so cool. Love it. Patrick Partridge is our boss level winner.
Congratulations, Patrick.
Patrick, if you're there, let us know in the comments. And you can respond on your email. We'll reach out to you too with your address.
Awesome. Congrats. All right, so there is our chat about Twig. I think Kyle and I will do some more. If you guys don't know, Kyle has an awesome Patreon where he is schooling everybody on basically just how to do things in this industry, how to break it. I'll let you describe it.
Well, yeah, you don't even have to sign up for my Patreon if you just sign up for my mailing list. If you go to my website, kylestrahm.com, you can sign up right there. But yeah, for a while, every week I was posting info on the questions I get asked the most at conventions about how to make comics, how to break into comics. And I'm going to get back to it. Things got crazy. But I am I'm really proud of all the work that I've done there. So please sign on and check it out. Also, I'm going to have some exclusive Twig covers just on my website, and the people on my mailing list are going to be the first people to know about that. So if you're interested in those, I just showed Skottie one today.
Yeah, it's so good.
Then,
I haven't seen
it. You'll be the first to know.
And I think I'd love to have you come in, Kyle, and us do some streaming or recording, probably more so to do like a behind the scenes audio commentary, like when the first issue comes out.
Yeah.
And that'll be a great chance for us to show everybody on screen the first pass and really dive deep into what we were talking about. Where I think Kyle probably would have. Now looking back, you would have hated my guts by issue 4. Like
with all the
it's like it was like full blown armies with like tanks and like there was one army that I was like Kyle would have been like, this book would have come out in 2029.
Yeah, I got pages in my sketchbook that are like, these are the drilling machines.
Yeah.
These are all the
right.
Yeah.
That was extra. Fuck.
Those will be fun things for the hardcover.
Yeah, they will.
Somebody asked about the age range, like young readers, or I know it has a certain look that may not be.
Well, you got it away from the penis, so
yeah, there's no penis.
That opened it up a little bit.
I think it's appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything in the book that wouldn't be in a kids movie from the 80s, like
Right.
a Don Bluth movie or a Jim Henson.
Yeah, I think Henson meets Bluth is probably the perfect tone that deals with life and death and peril, but also has some humor and just fun design. So I mean, I know this is the kiss of death where people are like, it's all ages, so that means it's for 3-year-olds.
Right.
But it's just what I'm saying is I think it's safe for all readers.
There's nothing worse in it than the horse in the never-ending story. There's nothing worse.
I've told you about this,
That's
right?
pretty
About
bad.
in the actual book.
I
So
don't
the-
know.
So the actual novel, so for those who don't know, spoiler, it's a 30, 40-year-old movie, whatever. The Neverending Story, there's a scene where Atreyu's horse, Artax,
Spoiler.
is literally in the swamp of sadness and then just starts sinking. And Artax and Atreyu's like, no, Artax! And we just watch on screen a horse die in the mud and it just drowns. And it's very sad and it's traumatizing. Now, if you read the book, it's even worse because in the book, Artax talks.
Oh no.
So
Oh.
as he is going down, Artax is going, I'm sorry, Atreyu. I'm just too sad. And Atreyu's like, no, Artax, we have to go on. He goes, and literally Artax goes, Atreyu, please, don't watch this.
Oh no.
And I'm like, I'm reading the book like, this is the most devastating thing I've ever read. So the movie's like a hot sunny day.
Baltimore would like to see it. Put it up there.
So we put the
Oh yeah,
Yes,
throw
absolutely.
Right,
Yeah.
This is the Baltimore.
Hold on, let me get you. Hey, Baltimore. We're going to get Baltimore up in here. All right.
I'll show you the sketchbook sketches later, Baltimore. But this is the first Twig drawing.
Where
Here
is
it is, here it is. He wasn't named Twig yet.
Yeah.
Just skin,
And I was just like, and,
just skin everywhere.
Kyle's like, hey, come over here. Do you think this is Twig? And I'm
That's
like,
amazing.
like I roll over. I'm the Marvel baby cover guy. And I'm like, no, that seems like this should be a career move for me. Like a little skin PP on a blue guy. All right, let's chat. Who's been watching some good stuff? Anybody?
I've been watching Love is Blind.
Yeah, you have. Love is Blind is
Still
great.
making it through 1838, 1883.
Yep, 1838.
I'm dyslexic.
Love is Blind. I have theme songs for that I sing.
It's too much musical interlude. Like they should just let.
No,
the
I
people
love
talk.
it. No, I love the musical interludes. So this is a show on Netflix where Christina's gonna love this because she knows that we all talk about love on this, and that Christina's who got.
She's
engaged.
already
She's like,
commenting.
yeah, Love is Blind. So.
She loves it.
So Love is Blind is a show where people meet in these pods and they're separated by a wall and they just keep meeting over and over and they get to know each other and then they decide whether or not they want to get married before they ever see each other. One of the greatest / worst things about the show is there's basically like a house band, like a house studio band that does all the songs for the entire show. And have you guys seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall? So Forgetting Sarah Marshall has that scene where Jason Segel's like watching the show and he's the music guy. He's the keyboard guy. So like on, where it's like, it's the show that he's the music guy for is like a ripoff of CSI. So it'll have the guy who be like, died by, asphyxiation while masturbating or whatever. And then he'll be like
every episode.
But he always has a quip. He's like, well, looks like he sure is in a nut or something, and it'd be like the music he'll be or whatever. So Jason Segel's like real depressed and he's just watching it and playing dark music.
Jason Segel, is he in the Muppets?
Yes. But this band does the same thing on Love is Blind where they're like, if a depressing scene's happening, all of a sudden it's like Florence and the Machine, but it's very pointed at this scene. So I just see him in there like smoking and then this couple's like, well, I don't even like you anymore. And they'll be like, well, I never liked you in a way. It's all auto-tuned and they're just singing. And that's what Megan's talking about. Like,
Yeah.
It's so musical. but it's so about love, and I love it. So Love Is Blind.
It's pretty
Pretty
good.
current viewing.
Yeah, that is like really like it's just happened. Well, season 2 just happened.
Been
Did-
watching. Oh, go.
No,
ahead.
you go.
Been watching Columbo. Been
Kyle-
working.
That's where Kyle's
Been
current
working
viewing.
on season 4.
I
And
just started watching.
Yeah,
Columbo because
after-
Kyle talks about it so
I
much.
talk a lot about Columbo, and John is sucked in. It was because Edith Head showed up.
Edith Head showed up.
Talking
and
about
just,
current
sent me
events.
like a screenshot of Edith Head having somebody come into her office and on the front of her desk is a line of Oscars.
Yeah, her 6 or 8 Oscars.
That's what she has people like looking at when she comes in when they come into her office. So
It's,
anyway,
it's a big flex.
That's a pretty hard flex.
first episode of Columbo, though. I'm 2 episodes in. First episode written by Steven Bochco and directed by Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg. It's
What
good.
year?
Oh,
Are we
Steven
talking-
Spacey?
71.
Steve Spacey?
72, something
Wow.
like that.
But
Jim Mafood says Columbo is the shit.
Is it-
Yeah, it is.
All right,
It
we
is.
getting are we getting Jim up in here?
But before we move on from Columbo, I want to say my favorite quiff that Columbo said so far is in one of the episodes they were somewhere high. I think maybe one of those ski lifts. You know about that. And he doesn't like heights, but he said, I don't like heights. I don't even like being this tall.
My God,
That's
Megan,
amazing writing.
that is amazing writing. But Kyle did bring up a good point. You are walking with the Lord now. You went
Oh
on
my God.
You went on a youth trip to a ski resort.
I did.
Were you are you like the slalom queen? Is that what it is? Is it called slalom?
Steve or
Slalom?
Slalom.
Slalom?
Slalom
What's
from
it
Lord
called?
of the Rings.
Is it is that what did you go down my
Slalom?
precious?
No, you know what happens on church youth group trips.
Yeah, 100.
Basically, it's 14-year-olds. Like,
Yeah, just keeping their hands to themselves.
that was my job, is to keep the 14.
But we want to know, you know where I'm going with this. I want to
You
know what
wanna know
happened
how
on the
I was-
mountain. How
Oh.
are you? Are you going to be in the
You're
next?
going to make me do this?
Were you afraid of the height?
Okay, so day 1, I was supposed to be enrolled in ski school. I was not enrolled in ski school.
An excellent.
I haven't been
National
skiing
Lampoon
since
film.
I was 16 or 17. So I hired myself a private instructor, and I was literally really good. I was so proud of myself. I was texting Skottie on the mountain. I'm like, I'm so good. This is amazing. I end the trip going all the way to the top of the mountain with a group of people, and basically rode a ski lift down, escorted by the people who worked there.
Needless to say, at one point Megan found herself on a helicopter, and they were going to jump out of a helicopter and go down a mountain. Just kidding.
It was scary as shit. I might be done skiing. Forever.
My favorite part of your story was where you said you were sitting down, and one of the ski patrol came over and said, "Hey, are you okay?" And you said, "Nope, but I don't need your help because I'm not getting taken down."
You're not
on
taking me down in that body bag.
on the emergency sled.
But they did
Oh.
escort me to a lift that would take me back down the mountain. And literally, I'm the only one going down the mountain.
Right.
Everyone is
Yeah.
riding up the mountain.
You're like the person that doesn't really need to be on the boop, 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 like go kart at the airport, but everybody's looking at you while you're going by like, why
Yeah.
is she on a boop boop car?
I'm so glad you brought this up.
I don't know that I've watched. I rewatched Up in the Don't Look Up. Is that
You
everybody-
rewatched
The
that
documentary.
No, Don't Look
No.
Up is that.
on HBO.
Yeah,
It's like a.
The political.
Oh,
the
it's
satire,
Satire.
It's not a mockumentary.
right. The McKay movie with all the people, Leonardo DiCaprio. Casey and I watched half of it, didn't enjoy it. Then we went. Like I've heard so many people talk about it. I was like, maybe we're having a bad night. Maybe we should like dive back in. Our problem the first night was we were like, this is not as absurd as the actual life
Like,
we
this
just.
is too much like life.
Yeah, but it wasn't even. They didn't go far enough to show what we actually went through, let alone go past it
It's
to
like
be
when-
satire.
It's like when Veep started being a little too real.
Right, when you're like, this show is supposed to be absurd. But then we went back, and I started to see a lot more satire beyond the political stuff, a little bit more social satire that I enjoyed. And I enjoyed it. It was okay. I mean, I don't know that that's a movie I'm going to dive into once a year.
Yeah,
But
I did not enjoy. A lot of people on here watched Raised by Wolves. You watched that, didn't you?
I did not watch it all the way through. I started it. Casey and I started it, and then she wasn't totally in. So then we jumped on to something else. But I have recently went back and rewatched the first couple episodes, and I'm back in because season 2's out now, or coming out weekly or something. But it's beautiful for sure. Have you watched it?
No, it's
Kyle?
it's on my list. Though.
No, I watched the trailer and I thought I'll watch that sometime, but I never did.
Did you start Peacemaker yet?
Oh, I need
Damn
to
it,
start
John.
these.
God damn it.
We watched.
Watch Boba Fett fucking twice.
Yeah.
Want to watch
You
Peacemaker
watched
once?
Boba Fett?
No, this
You-
guy.
Yeah, I
This guy over here.
Yeah.
I'm looking for more winners.
All right. Casey McCauley's up in here now, right?
Yeah, I saw her there.
Macaulay.
She wants to know if Kyle also watches Murder She Wrote.
Oh, right.
Yes, he does.
It's an IV hooked into the
Comfort.
Yeah, I don't really watch Murder She Wrote. It's more just like ambiance. I've seen them all so many times.
It's all nuts.
Ambiance.
Holy shit.
You guys, anybody here watch Murder She Wrote? In the
No.
comments, if you watch Murder She Wrote, sound off with your favorite character. Better not be Grady Fletcher.
Grady.
Nobody's sounding. off.
Yeah. You're on your own with this one, bro.
I think if someone can answer that, they get something.
All right.
You're on your own with this one. Kyle,
Mhm.
what was your overall? We don't need to do this because now I feel like we're becoming the Boba Fett show.
Yeah.
But give me your hot take.
I got a lot to say about Boba Fett, but here I'll boil it down for
Yeah.
you. Okay, for me, Return of the Jedi might be the first movie I ever saw in theaters,
Yeah, me too.
and I probably fell asleep. So that first 20 minutes was Star Wars to me for a long time.
Right.
So I was really pumped for this. And for me, that era of Star Wars, like Return of the Jedi, is it feels like a period piece. So when I think Rogue One did a really good job treating it like a period piece where
Right.
they made it all feel the same.
Right.
And so some of the stuff in the Boba Fett show, the nostalgia really worked on me. And some of it, I was just like, this doesn't feel like it's from the right time.
Right.
Which I wasn't as crazy about. But I know I didn't dislike it as much as you did, Skottie, but I enjoyed some of it.
Yeah.
And then when the Mandalorian showed up, I was like, I like the Mandalorian. I don't like, spoiler, plug your ears.
Yeah.
I think the Sarlacc got done dirty.
Yeah.
hmm
Also, the Mandalorian was it got a little Babysitter's Club. He was very,
What do you mean?
I mean, he was
Babysitter's
very
Club?
mushy. Like,
I love that kid.
yeah, just like,
But he always loves that kid.
I
That's
know
his
he
whole
loves
thing.
it, but the subtlety of him loving it, that kid was cool. This one, he's like, just let me see my baby. Here's my baby. I want to see my baby. Get
Yeah,
this
it
little
didn't
baby
bother
shirt. I knitted it. I cross-stitched his baby shirt.
That didn't bother me. I was like, is he gonna get to see him?
They're like, hey, creep.
I feel like so
What's her name? Ashoka?
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka?
I like her.
Ahsoka's like, hey, creep. Bro, he's training with Luke. Don't be coming up in here with the creepy cross-stitched Mandalorian armor. for
I
him."
see. I liked all that. That episode, the episode before.
I did like it.
Those are my favorite. I just want Mandalorian season 3. Is what I've learned. But I like seeing Max Rebo, one of my favorite
Right.
ever. I was very happy.
Oh, I did. I already said this, but I did like that cowboy fucker. That
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane. Yeah, he's
Yeah, he was pretty cool. I like watching. Here's what I like.
Right.
I like to go on and watch the reaction videos. So there are people who are like 20 now who grew up their whole lives watching Clone Wars, and there are all these videos of them when Cad Bane shows up, they lose their fucking minds.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I wish that I could
Right.
feel that.
I feel that way when I see Timothy Oliphant on screen because I'm like, I'd date him. He's a handsome fucker.
I like that guy.
He's awesome. I love Justified, and I'm just like, oh, this is kind of like Justified 2.
Rancor. So, I mean, the first 4 episodes, all the things I wanted to see. I wanted to see Hutts. I wanted to see a Rancor. I wanted to see Max Rebo. It was all there. So anything that I wasn't as good, I didn't care because I was just like, that's what I wanted for 40 years. That's what I've wanted. So maybe I'll rewatch it again in a year and have a different.
That's how. Yeah, that's how I think.
Have
I'll
a
feel.
step back and.
Real quick, I don't know if he's. Hey, Jim, my food. If you're still out there, I sent you an invite if you want to jump in with us. I don't know if you're watching on your phone or not, but anyway, if you're still there, join us. What else, Kyle? Anything else you've been watching besides Columbo?
We finished Midnight Mass finally. That was like a month ago. What have we been watching?
Man, Midnight Mass. That show has some monologues.
Oh, it does have. Yeah, I don't think I've ever talked to somebody where
Oh.
they just talk and I just am like.
Well, I did say that. I was like,
Jim is going to come on in a
Okay.
second.
I said, Casey and I were watching it, and I was like, you know what is really impressive about this town is people are so respectful when somebody else is talking.
Yeah.
and even when it's 5 minutes later, no one is even going, uh-huh.
Cool.
They're really just like, are you still going?
Nobody's like, that's crazy. Trying to
Right. And then be like, oh, me too. I was like, man, this town is the most respectful vampire biting town ever.
So I like the Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. So I watched the Valentine's special. What was it? What's the movie? It must not have left an impression.
Yeah, pretty good. As John would say, it's something. It was something.
Man, I wonder what it was.
Are you excited that there's an Elvira thing coming up on?
Oh, is there? I enjoyed that last Elvira. I wish there would have been more of Elvira in it. But is it another one of these things where she's hosting it on Shudder?
I think so.
I'll watch that. Jason Orlando.
Is Elvira still alive? Oh, yeah. Oh, goddamn, John.
Yeah. She,
John, calm down, sir.
Her,
She's very alive.
Released her memoirs late last year.
Yeah, she's having a great
year, and it was like a big.
All right, guys. I'd like you two to calm down a little bit and not be like, idiot. Yes, she's alive, bro. What the fuck? How did you not know this? You guys are all up there. You're like, duh. Like it's just.
I don't have a private life together through behind the scenes. Elvira is one of those pillars that we.
I got it.
Supports our life together.
Well, I guess I know now. I won't make that mistake ever
Hey,
again.
Jim, how are you?
What's up, guys?
What's up, buddy?
We can't hear you, buddy.
Oh, one sec.
He says,
That's gonna be charades.
Just gonna get up and start popping.
I'll duck off while you guys are, so we can do it.
I gotta find out what the Valentine's Day movie was on Joe Bob because I can't believe I can't remember it.
Can you
Wife
guys-
Casey McCauley, text me if you want to join in. Jim, we still cannot hear you.
Can't hear me?
Is that on our end?
Is that
No?
because we
It
all have our
says-
volume turned off?
Nope.
No,
His
because
mic says
my
volume.
volume's up.
Oh, they can hear him.
Oh wait, no, my volume is up. Oh, we got you now.
Everyone else can hear him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're all in person. I didn't have my computer volume on.
Oh shit. Okay. All good. How you guys doing?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just hanging out, scanning some pages, listening to the show.
I love that we can trust that you're going to be working every Wednesday while we're live. I love it.
Yeah. I tune into different people's live streams just because it's like people keeping me company as I
Yeah,
work.
dude. We love it.
So,
Hey, real quick. So this is for the group. Casey, my wife, is at home. I'm trying to get her to every week. I'm trying to get her in on this, but she asked if anybody's watched Wolf Like Me.
no,
It's
I don't know
on-
what that is.
I think it's on the Peacock Network, maybe.
You
It's
know what's on the Peacock Network? Columbo.
I love some Columbo, Kyle.
Yeah, you do.
Kyle, I was at Singapore Comic-Con in 2019, and this guy came up to my table who like barely spoke English and was like, I have a commission request. Columbo. He's like, you know what that is? I'm like, Columbo, the 70s TV show. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like I'll do Columbo for you. Like that's never been requested before, but
But
sure.
did you take a picture? Did you take a picture of Columbo?
I had to dig up like reference on my phone and make sure I got the Peter Falk. He's a great guy to draw because his face is so distinct anyway, but
is he the grandpa in Princess Bride?
yeah.
Yeah. Can you do a Columbo voice yet, Kyle?
I can make it.
Needs a moment to get in.
Well, this is the character.
I know.
No, I can't do it.
Okay. All right.
I'll work on that.
Wolf Like Me is a 6-issue, Jesus Christ. 6-episode like mini series that was produced in it's an Australian production, but it has Josh Gad and Isla
Fisher.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, it's a werewolf show, and it's
I love her.
Really awesome. Like it's
Oh, wow.
it's really cool. But like I said, it's just a little 6-issue story. God damn it, issue! I can't say an issue. Sorry,
You got issues.
I do have issues.
You're conditioned by comics, Scott.
It's maddening. I can't escape it.
Is that a horror, straight up horror show, or is it like horror?
It's not. It's actually a lot more shows are kind of doing that like half-hour dramedy. So it's somewhere. It's more drama than comedy, but it's a dark comedy in a way. But it's a lot more of a relationship, like an interesting relationship tale between these two people who meet, and of course, you find out that one of them is. I mean, it's called Wolf Like Me. I mean, I'm not spoiling it by saying one's a werewolf.
Right.
You did. You spoiled it.
God damn it, Kyle! I thought you were Columbo. I thought you figured that shit
Josh
out.
Gad?
Yeah, Josh Gad.
See, I didn't know that was a werewolf thing.
Huh? Wolf Like Me?
Yeah.
It's called Wolf Like Me. One of them's got to be a wolf.
Winter's Bone. It's not about a mummy.
What? Yeah, of course it's not about a mummy. I feel like you need to watch a lot more Columbo because it's not soaking in. Your detective skills are not crushing it quite yet.
They're pretty good.
Oh, they're pretty cool.
Columbo's about misdirection.
Columbo is amazing because it's just scenes of people talking. Like you don't ever see the murder, you don't ever see the crime, you don't ever see the action, you don't ever see really Columbo running down the street with his gun drawn.
He doesn't even like guns. He doesn't even have one.
It's
like
just
Batman.
scenes of people talking, and it's fascinating and awesome. It's so crazy, man. Like I don't know if it's because it has the 70s vibe to it, and the set design is great, and the music's great, and the acting is great, and he's such a great protagonist, but it is mind-blowing to think this is just an hour-long show of people talking.
It is.
Oh, it is.
It's like the West Wing.
Yeah, I never saw The West Wing.
What?
It's
Oh,
good.
I love the West Wing.
Okay.
Maybe not as good as Columbo. But it's
A few things are.
I have watched the West Wing. This is no joke. I have probably watched it 15 times through.
a lot. That's a lot of times.
I almost watch it at least once a year, like since the beginning, and then especially once it started streaming. But we bought the DVD collection. We bought the boxes, and then at one point I had the whole set that looked like it came in. It's like, oh, look at this file fax, and let's call it whatever.
Did the sides of the DVDs connect to make a face or something? A picture?
No, not that show.
President Bartlett.
President Bartlett. No, but I just can't get enough of that show. And it's kind of like what you just said. It's Aaron Sorkin, so it's just him flexing just dunking on everybody with words in every scene.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to pull that off. I mean, you have to have the right creative team, the right actors, and
it was a perfect storm because he tried it multiple times since. He followed it up with Studio 60, which was kind of like it was trying to make SNL seem as important as the West Wing. And you're like, it's not. That's a sketch comedy show, to the point where one episode they had like a somebody from the military, like the Pentagon, come in because one of the cast members' brother was like kidnapped and he being held hostage, and so like the whole time and I was like, he's like, man, this show wasn't working, so let me try to West Wing this up a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Jared Hickman just left a good comment of artists have to watch shows, play shows that are easy to listen to while drawing, which is exactly what Columbo is.
Yeah. I tried to watch The Road Warrior once, and there's no dialogue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do Mad Max Fury Road because it's like Tom Hardy going, and then it's like, were we talking about this, or was I talking about, I can't remember who I was talking about, Casey or you, or we all were talking where I've gotten to the point over the years where I can I've listened to more things than I've probably watched,
right?
But I can almost tell you what is probably taking place on screen, scene wise, based on like the amount of years we've just listened. Which is, I find that it's probably one of the most powerful storytelling tools I've ever had, which is listening and not watching, because at that point you're not distracted by any sort of eye candy. You're just going like, man, they're not telling a story here. Like if I'm not looking at this, I'm not getting anything.
Right. It also kind of can teach you storytelling techniques of like, oh, okay, like now the music's going to come in. Now
Right.
we're going to have a pause from the dialogue. Now action's going to happen. Oh, something fucked up just happened. The next thing is probably going to be more lighthearted and
Right.
comedy driven, you know, if it's that type of vibe. But yeah, man, it you know, your other senses, when your eyes aren't associated with watching something visual, your other senses kick in to where it's like you become more sensitive to certain things, I think.
Right. I totally agree. Were you guys big, Kyle, Jim, were you guys big audio commentary people?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back before streaming, I would put those on all the time while I was drawing.
Jim, were you?
Yeah. I mean, I had an intense DVD collection.
Right.
And then when streaming came up, dude, I wound up getting rid of most of my DVDs in LA before I moved out here.
Right.
To Amoeba Records. Like I just brought like boxes of physical media. And I felt weird letting it go, but I
kind of felt the same, but I did the first thing I did was I broke the cardinal rule of DVD collectors. Is once my collection got too big, when we moved once, and that move was so burly because of the amount of DVD boxes that it took.
Right.
That when I got to the next place, no, it was before we left Chicago. I'm lying. We were leaving Chicago, and I was like, I don't know that I could fit all these DVDs. So I did the cardinal. I broke the biggest sin, and I got rid of all the cases.
I did that.
And I put them in the giant binders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you no longer had shelf porn, which was
you're really hurting.
John's about ready to throw up. Well, listen, John, I had to move some.
I did it moving spots.
Most of the DVDs I have in my home, I borrowed from John.
But yeah, we did the thing where because we also started to collect so many television shows.
Oh yeah.
And at that point, you're getting real.
Those
It's
are
getting real
expensive,
fucking hairy.
too.
Right.
We spent a lot of money on
It's
that.
getting real hairy.
Did you guys ever have the Blu-ray player? I bet you did.
I skipped Blu-ray completely.
I did too. I skipped it.
You skipped the Blu-ray?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I dove hard into
I
Blu-ray.
was like, yeah.
I was like, I'm in, baby.
If I know you at all, you had a Blu-ray.
Oh, I had a
player.
Blu-ray binder and a DVD and the DVD binders.
Skottie Young, what's the first DVD you bought?
Oh man. Oh god damn it. This is gonna be really. It's so bad. It was a Tim Allen movie.
It can't be worse than my first CD.
Oh, this
Shaggy Dog,
I'm not fucking around with you. It's a Tim Allen movie.
the Santa Claus 2.
No, god damn it,
I
no.
miss its Claus.
No, no, it's not even a good. Nobody will remember this movie. I would have to go to IMDb to find it. Oh fuck, I can't remember it. This is what happened.
Christmas
Casey,
with the Cranks.
no, that was later. Casey and I were in Chicago, and we went out, and I just got a PlayStation 4, and I don't know what, or not PlayStation 4. I'm sorry, PlayStation 2 that
Okay.
played DVDs.
That adds up.
That math works way better. So
I was way late to the DVD game.
Right.
guys.
I rolled out, and it was like, it's gonna kill me. I'm gonna have to find it now because
Jim, what was your first DVD?
yeah, you guys move on, and I'm gonna jump in.
Mine was the Spike Jones music video double disc collection.
Whoa, dude.
You're so fucking. God damn it, Jim.
Too
Of course
cool
it
for
was
school.
Jim.
I'm not
For school.
saying that's incredibly cool, but I just remember like I was still living in Arizona at the time, and I didn't have a DVD player yet. I was saving up the money, and the Spike Jones double disc came out, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy this, assuming that I am getting a DVD player because I can't not have this. Like, this is so cool. I have to have it, and so that kind of forced me into, all right, now I have to actually buy the DVD player. But because, man, you know, early in your freelance days, like I was making a living off my art at that time, but I wasn't making a huge living. So buying any sort of appliance or new technology was like, shit, man, I don't know, $200. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Because honestly, man, I was living in a studio apartment in Arizona at that time, and I think my rent was like $250 a month, $300 a month.
Right.
So to buy something like a DVD player or a new component for my computer or something, that was like, shit, can I do this? I don't know. Like,
Right.
You know, you have
All right, I found what it was.
So somebody chimed in and asked.
I think that person had it.
Was it Jungle to Jungle?
It was not. Good Lord. You thought that was my first DVD? Jungle the fucking Jungle.
I'm going.
Good Lord. No, it was called Big Trouble.
Big trouble.
Yeah, it was just an ensemble cast movie. He was the star. And that's the thing. So we went out to the suburbs. We were going out to, somebody was going to Myers, which is like a big super Walmart 24-hour situation in the suburbs of Chicago. And we had this, and I remember being like, oh, we have a DVD player now. We should get a new movie to watch tonight. And it was a new movie. And it was like the selection was not rocking at the Myers or Meyer or whatever it's called. So yeah, we bought Big Trouble. That was sadly my first one. Followed quickly by all of the DVDs on planet Earth. When I got my first Marvel check, you would have thought that I was a trillionaire. Like, I rolled down.
Who's this trillionaire with all these DVDs?
I rolled down to Virgin Megastore like I was on a fucking Nickelodeon.
The check in your pocket.
Yeah, like a Nickelodeon shopping spree. What? Remember that shit?
Yeah,
Where you just like go like this? I
Yes.
rolled in like that like new rack. It was like Veronica Mars season 1. Yup, don't know what that is. I was just like this, like putting shit in our thing. But it at first it was like, is this one, should I buy this movie? Should I buy this one? By the end, like near the end of my DVD collection, I was like, oh man, this Kurt Russell remake of Poseidon end. I'm buying it. I bought, if it was Tuesday and it was on the new release at Best Buy, because they opened up like a little mini Best Buy in Lincoln Park in Chicago. So we'd roll down there on Tuesdays and just buy whatever the fuck they put out. So I was like, no, Poseidon is worth it, guys.
Poseidon is great.
It's good. The Kurt Russell one?
Yes.
Is
Megan Hodges.
it a remake of the Poseidon?
Yeah, 100%.
I love it.
Skottie, I was like that with music. Like on Tuesdays was new.
Yeah, new movies, new music. Yeah.
Day. So I would go to like skateboard to the record store and find any excuse. It was like, oh man, there's a new CD out that DJ Premier produced one track on. I don't know who the artist is, but I'm just gonna buy it because Premier did one track. So
100.
just because I had to like get that fix in for the Jones of like I have to buy new product, new media, and I still get that way where like I still sometimes go to the comic shop every Wednesday just habitually just to see what's on the shelves. Sometimes I don't buy stuff, but I just like that habit of like, I want to go and just be in that environment and see what is actually on the shelves and what's going on.
No, I was like, music was my first addiction to buying tapes first, obviously from our age, but then CDs.
Sure.
And there was like a clear dividing. I need to go back and look at the dividing line between when you could guarantee that every CD you bought was going to be good, 90% of it, to the point where you bought CDs and 2 songs would be good and the rest were just going to be, it was just trash. Where that's where I was like, man, I can't do this anymore. Like, because people started releasing albums like twice a year versus like once every 4 years. But Kyle, what was your first DVD?
I think my first DVD was Batman 66. But the one I was the most excited for was the Clerks cartoon because it was only on DVD.
Hey, we got fucking Jim up in the house.
Oh, I forgot you worked on it.
Yeah.
We would put that DVD on and fall asleep. So I'd wake up in the middle of the night and the little jingle would be going on the menu.
Oh, the menu.
It'd be like do 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 do, and that would just repeat over and over.
I like how Kyle, his whole personality is just built that he fell asleep going Snoochie Moochies.
Yeah.
Megan, I don't know if you know, Jim drew the Clerks comic.
Well, I just figured this out.
Yeah.
Put it all together.
I did.
Like a fucking
A regular Columbo.
The cartoon, now the animated show became an awkward sore spot in my friendship with Kevin because
Well, I loved it.
they originally wanted me to come on and design the show, like do the character design and make it look like the comic. The original deal was Kevin and Scott Mosier, his producer, had the cartoon set up at HBO. So they were going to do like a rated R style Clerks cartoon at HBO. Then they got a better, bigger offer with the option of possible syndication from ABC, which is owned by Disney, right? Disney also owned Miramax. Their movies were coming out through Miramax. So it was all connected. So when Kevin started working with Disney Animation, he was like, we want to bring in Jim to design this. Disney said, no, we don't need to bring in an outside guy. We'll just ape his style with our in-house studio, and that'll be that. So I wasn't in LA at the time, but I sent Scott Morse down to Disney as a spy for me because Scott had access to all the animation studios because he worked everywhere.
Right.
So Scott goes into Disney, hangs out with his friends there. He goes home and calls me and he's like, shit, man, your art's hanging all over the studio. So they are going to ape your style for the cartoon. I'm not sure what you can do about it. I mean, you can be pissed off, but you can't copyright a drawing style.
Right.
So I was really young. I was like 22 years old. And I was like calling up Kevin and Scott Mosier and being like, what the fuck? Like, right. I thought I was supposed to do this. And so there was this period where we had this awkwardness between us, but I mean, obviously it resolved itself. Kevin gave me a shout out on the DVD. The ironic thing is I felt like that I got fucked over, and then Disney aired the cartoon during the summer when no one is watching new TV. The show was based on sequential order. They aired 2 episodes and they aired them out of order, and then they canned the show. So they didn't even show the entire run. So, I mean, I feel like all of us just got hosed on the whole deal. So it was weird, but it really taught me a lesson about like, oh, you can't copyright like the look of someone. Right. People can bite if they want to bite.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of like you have to outmaneuver. And that's when I consciously really started to change my style so that it wasn't that thick outline, simple late 90s look that we were all sort of doing. Like Yonan Vasquez was doing that kind of look, and Evan Dorkin, and I kind of was like, man, I need to come up with something new that people can't as easily bite from me. I think. Right.
And so, Scott Mosier ended up going off. I mean, he produced most of Kevin Smith's career, right? But he went off and then shocked the planet by making $1 trillion on directing the Grinch movie.
Oh yeah,
the Grinch movie.
Yeah. It's like, whoa! He's been like behind the scenes of Kevin Smith all these years. Then he's like, I'm gonna go do this animation thing for a quick minute. And then like dunks on everybody.
Yeah, dude, I was stoked for him. I was like, oh wow, one of my friends has the #1 movie in America right now.
Yeah,
like the week it debuted, it was #1, and him and his wife were smart. Like they went to France for like 2 years where the movie was being made, and he worked in-house with all these brilliant animators in Paris. And was just kicking it and hanging out and making this, you know. And the movie's it's great. I mean, visually,
I love it, and I love that Scott did it because we basically got the idea that no one else but Scott Mosier would have had fucking Tyler the Creator do all the music for the movie. Like, I was like, what? If any parent went and listened to Tyler the Creator's discography after watching the Grinch, be like, ooh, my kid might like this. I was like, no, stop, hold up.
Yeah. It was cool to see. I mean, I think he ended his partnership with Kevin after Zach and Miri.
I think you're right.
And that was kind of, I mean, they're still obviously super tight friends, but I think Scott was like, yeah, I just want to, I want to do other stuff.
Yeah, I think he went and like traveled for a couple of years first and then came back and did basically the Grinch, like right up, which is like, dang.
Yeah.
Megan.
Yes.
What was your first DVD? We got to get you back up and put you on screen.
Okay. What do I do?
How do we get you off screen?
No, I'm muted. I did it. I think it was Mimic.
Ah,
Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo, hold on. Let me get my Guillermo lighting. Green, yellow, green, yellow.
You like to mimic that much, huh?
I'm a horror flick, person.
That I love because that's Mira Sorvino.
Yeah.
Who's in it? I can't remember.
I don't remember the guy. I just
I don't
remember
remember
Mira.
It's Josh Brolin.
What? No way.
No.
No way. Scottie's looking at us like,
Yeah. I don't-
Somebody get on
Stone cold
IMDb.
nose.
Producers, get on IMDb.
Kyle's already halfway there.
I bet you it's Josh
I'm working
Brolin.
on it.
He's the boyfriend.
Megan, have you seen Malignant?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
I started that.
I'm interested. Very interested.
I just watched it last night. I had no idea what it was, and it's I'm not sure what to say about it without spoiling it. It's
Right.
Hey, don't spoil it because it's on my list.
check
Megan,
it out.
It's
Check
funny
it out.
that you said. It's funny that you said Mimic because that movie.
Josh Brolin.
There is.
What?
There it is, baby.
Wow.
Josh Brolin.
Thanos.
Thanos.
All right.
That Mimic
The guy
is
from the Goonies.
We're going to
Guillermo
watch
del-
that in the studio tomorrow.
Mimic is Guillermo del Toro's worst filmmaking experience of all time.
He self-proclaimed worst.
Yeah, he says it. He
Huh.
like in every single interview.
What made it the worst?
The studios
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
the studio's involvement in the constant like changes and just everything. He was it almost broke him. He really did say it almost made me never want to make movies
Wow.
ever again. And it was only because of Mira Sorvino that he was able. Like the studio wanted to fire him.
So he liked Mira Sorvino?
She stood up for him and said, basically made him stay or made the
Okay,
studio
cool.
make him stay because she has her
Oh, she's super connected. Like,
yeah, her
Yeah.
lineage is pretty big, right? Mimic. Also, Mimic's pretty cool. I liked it.
I loved it. Loved it.
From
Yeah.
like, I think of The Relic when I think of.
I do too. I was just gonna say, the Relic that's Mira Sorvino too, isn't it?
Is it? No, I don't remember. But
I feel like you're gonna challenge me.
I remember. I'm not because I don't even remember that. All I remember
It's
from that
probably
movie
not.
is like a flaming CGI monster.
Oh yeah, right. That kind of looked like the monster that they ended up Guillermo did in Hellboy. That's why you think of it.
It always reminded me of like The Fly and, of course.
Mhm.
The Relic.
John,
No, Mimic.
what was your first DVD?
My first DVD, I bought a DVD player, and so at Best Buy, I looked around just to see what movies, because I had a ton of VHS, I was of that age where I collected a bunch of that. But Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink.
Oh,
Nice.
yes.
I came across Pretty in Pink, and I was like,
Nice.
I consciously wanted to make my first DVD purchase something that I cared about.
Uh-huh.
And I
That's
liked Pretty in
cool.
Pink, so.
Did it have good special features, or was it just like
No, it was
Dolby
just like-
digital sound?
Yeah, right. It was just like the basic DVD, and then like a few years later, like the Everything's Ducky edition came out with like
Oh, jeez. Wow.
better. Yeah, right.
Did it do a single called "Teach Me How to Ducky"?
I liked it.
That's a dad joke. That's a modern day dad joke.
I liked it when they tried to sell the menus or like chapters as a DVD feature.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
special features,
Special feature.
animated menu. That's what it would
Yeah.
say. Do you guys remember when DVDs? This is how old we all are. We're like, remember when DVD players first came out, and they to get you to buy it. I remember they would give you, you got like a free DVD,
Right.
and The Matrix and The Sixth Sense were the two
Really?
first like
I have
big.
no memory of that.
Yeah, they were the two pushes because those it was right at that time. And I remember being like, damn, I want to watch that Matrix at home.
I remember when I went to
Yeah.
look at DVD players, and you go into the store and all the TVs are playing a movie, and it was always Shrek. They were playing.
You are fucking not wrong, man.
Well,
That-
like Pizza Hut had like pizza in a movie, right? Where you could like get a pizza and then you get like a DVD. It's one of 4 different DVDs
It was
with
a-
the pizza.
And they were Drop Dead Fred, The Burbs,
Mhm.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and then some rom-com.
You
that I
fucking
never
nailed
cared
that, dude.
about.
This is no shit. I'm gonna tell this story. It's gonna sound like I'm making it up top to fucking bottom. 100% not. I lived in Bloomington, Illinois. I moved from Tennessee to Florida for like 8 minutes, and then moved back up to Illinois, Central Illinois. I had these 2 roommates that I lived with, and one night we were sitting around talking because I went to Blockbuster almost every day of my life. Like
Wow.
I just loved Blockbuster.
Every day of your life.
No, I really would just go like I would rent movies almost every day. I didn't have enough money to go buy VHS tapes. I waited tables. I didn't have that cash, but I could go rent them. So after work, I just rolled. Blockbuster was open really late. I'd roll up the Blockbuster, rent movies. So one night I was sitting around with my roommates. We always rented movies, and then we'd order pizza or whatever. And we started talking, and I was like, man, what if like you could order a pizza and then you got a movie with your pizza? Like you could just do it all in one swoop. And we started talking, and we basically were like, okay, what if we found like a building and then we rented out, and this DVDs weren't a thing yet. I mean, they were becoming a thing, but they hadn't taken over yet. So we're like, what if we did movie rental, and then just like Pizza Hut or Papa John's or whatever, you hire a fleet of delivery people, and then like those, you delivered the movies, right?
Pre-Netflix.
Pre-Netflix. Yeah, Netflix did not exist.
Yeah.
And I was just basing this off of, I order pizza almost every day too. So I was like, man, if you could just kill two birds with one stone, but really just turn movies into pizza and like order your movies, have like a bike delivery. And this, Bloomington's a college town in Illinois. So I was like, this town's perfect.
Right.
But college kids on campus, and you deliver movies to people like pizza. And then we go make deals with local businesses for drop-off boxes, right?
That's $1 billion idea, Scott.
Oh, God damn it. So this I'm going to tell you how far we went. Then I kept going like, then we can make deals, like we'll sell candy with it as well. And then we'll hook up at the local pizza spot, and then we'll like basically do packages, right? And then for an extra fee, our delivery drivers will come and pick up the movie for you. If you don't want to go to one of the drop-off spots, we'll have a delivery person come and pick it up for you for an extra fee.
Yeah, at one point my dad was like, video rental places should come with an envelope, the pre-stamped envelope.
Netflix took it that step further. So this was like me just thinking locally. I wasn't thinking globally. I was just like, man, a college town like this is a business. I took this to my dad and was like, and I broke it down, and he was like, started thinking about like, okay, well, here's some money, investment things, to the point where he was like, if you can figure out a few things here, we can really start talking about this. And I swear to God, that month, Netflix was announced. Like it literally got, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Me and my two roommates in Bloomington totally cooked up like a very baby early version of a local Netflix type thing.
Right. Holy shit, man.
I know.
Hey, where were you living in Florida? I didn't know.
I moved from Tennessee. I lived in Bristol, Tennessee through high school and a couple of years after. And then I moved down to Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, shit.
I was going to go to Ringling Art School there.
Oh.
Meaning I didn't apply. But I was going to a couple of my friends were going there, and they had money. And I thought, well, I'll just go live with them for a while and save up money. And that was back when you thought you could save enough money to go to art school, right? Like I couldn't save enough money to eat at a nice restaurant back then, but I'm like, no, I could save up $60,000 for this year.
Yeah.
At my restaurant job, working at the Hyatt. I lived there for a hot 4 to 6 months or something.
Tyler L. went to Ringling.
Oh, Ringling. Yeah, Ringling's a really cool school. I went there because it was one of the last schools still offering traditional animation program. Like that whole 98, 99 zone was when all the colleges were switching over to computer animation.
You dodged that bullet.
Wow.
I did dodge that bullet. I think things worked out for me. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, so then... but I think it would have been working out for me way better if I would have got that Netflix idea just a couple of years sooner.
The pre-Netflix Skottie Young delivery system. Kyle, what's up with the Art Institute, man? Are you still there full time?
I'm not there full time. I've never been there full time. I'm an adjunct there, so I teach one class.
Okay.
I teach the senior thesis class, which is awesome. It's a lot of fun. Steve Mays is my boss. Did you?
I love that man. I love Steve Mays. He's still there. He's been there for like 40 years or something.
Yeah, that guy's awesome. And John Ferry, you know him?
Yep.
Yeah, I work with him
too.
So, no, it's a good time. And whenever you come up, you're spoken highly of.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, those guys were always good to me, except John Ferry. His patience ran out with me my senior year, and he kicked me out of his knife painting class, like painting with a knife.
Painting with a knife?
A palette knife?
Like oil painting class, like palette knife, because I just couldn't wrap my brain around the class. Like it was just too complicated for me. And I was so stuck on just comics and drawing comics. This was all just color theory and stuff that was out of my grasp. And it was a class that was on Friday mornings. And by senior year at the Art Institute, well, junior, senior, whatever, Thursday night became the ultimate party night.
Yeah, Thursday night was basically college Friday.
Yeah, man. So Thursday night is when we all went to Harling's is the name of the bar. I don't know if it's still there, but go to Harling's and just get trashed, man. And so Friday morning, waking up at like 7:30 in the morning to go to John's class that I just did not understand. I just started skipping, and eventually he just called me one morning and was like, Jim, I love you, dude, but you got to go. He's like, I got to kick you out. He's like, you're showing absolute disrespect and disdain for my class. It's making me look bad. Like, you're going to have to find some other class to get a credit in because I just can't have it anymore. And I'm like, you're right. I've been a dick. I don't understand. And now, man, I would love to do a palette knife painting class.
All the time the students have there, you're like, I wish I had that time.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. I got a story I heard about you that I would like to hear your version.
Oh shit!
It had something to do with you. I could tell the story, but I would mess it up. It had something with you going to do graffiti tags and getting
also smoke the marijuana weed
and getting some guns pulled on you.
Yeah.
Were there multiple stories of that or just the one?
Yeah. Freshman year, like the first or second month of school, I went out with two buddies of mine. We had all gotten into graffiti. We were in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time. And we were throwing our bags full of paint up onto a rooftop and about to scale this building. Two of my buddies were already up there. As I was getting ready to go up the building, scale the ladder, I heard a shotgun cock behind me. And then everything else went silent. Like my hearing went out and everything because of the adrenaline. And I turned around and there was a guy in the alley with a dog that was barking with a shotgun pointed at me. It turns out this neighborhood had been getting robbed on a regular basis. So this dude was just a street vigilante that was out at night, dude, patrolling his neighborhood with a big ass dog and a Mossberg street sweeper shotgun. I'll never forget the name of it because he told us the name. And
that's a fucking weird flex right there.
I yelled at my boys that were up on the roof to come down, and he made us get face down into the gravel and was like, you know, what are you guys doing here? And it was so crazy, dude, because we're like, we're not here to rob anyone. We're artists. we're here to paint graffiti, and we throw our bags at him, and he like bends down, goes through our bags. It's all graffiti. And he's like, oh, you know what? I'm an artist too.
Oh shit.
Like you guys are fucking crazy, man. Do you know what kind of gun this is? This is a Mossberg street sweeper. I could have killed all three of you at once with one shot. Jesus. And we're like in the gravel, like, can we get up now? And he's like, get up. He's like, get the fuck out of here.
Jesus.
Don't ever come back to this neighborhood. So we're like shitting our pants. We run back to my boy Rick's car. Now here's the other crazy part of the story. We get in Rick's car. We drive a block down the street. We get pulled over by the cops. Cop gets out of his car. We look super suspicious, dude. We're like in my buddy's like hoopty ghetto cruiser car. There's paint all over the car in the trunk. He makes us get out of the car. He's inspecting the car. He's like, you got any guns, drugs, whatever? We're like, no. We lift up the trunk lid and it's just filled with spray paint. So he's questioning us, and on his CB radio, he gets a call from someone. It's an emergency, and he's just like, "You guys just got super lucky. Get the fuck out of here." You know, he gets in his car and drives off. What happened is someone in the neighborhood heard the street vigilante guy yelling at us and telling us that he's going to kill us with his shotgun and the dog barking. They called the cops, and the cops were responding to him. So
Jesus.
he almost shot us, but then he wound up saving us from the cops because he was
fine with it.
because he was a crazy dude in his neighborhood patrolling the streets with a Mossberg street sweeper.
Were you so mad that you didn't get to put food one up on top of the building after all that?
I mean, that was the end of my graffiti career.
You're like, I'm doing some
like-
comic books, motherfucker.
So I was like, I'm done. And it was funny, Skottie, because like the next day, so my boy Rick told everybody the next day at school. So the school is small. Everybody knew the next day. So I'm like walking across campus, and Mike Huddleston sees me from across the way and like runs through the lawn and runs up to me. He's like, "Dude, did you guys almost get shot last night? What is happening?" I'm like, yeah, we were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I told him the neighborhood, and he'd been living in Kansas City for like 2 years. He's like, "Dude, you guys are fucking stupid. Like you can't be in that." It's like a, super ghetto area of Kansas City. But yeah, we were idiots, man. And like the whole school found out. And
I love it.
So
who did you hear it from? I didn't know.
You what?
Who did you hear the story from?
I think I heard it from Rick,
Oh,
but
shit.
he didn't include the Mossberg street sweeper.
Yeah.
That's
But
the
that's
key
exactly
to
the story. Yeah.
Hearing a shotgun cock behind you is.
Oh my God.
And I also, like, when we were face down in the gravel, all I thought was, like, my mom is going to have a heart attack. Finds out this is how I died.
Yeah.
And she's going to just, like, my mom is going to die from a heart attack when she finds out. I went to art school. I went to Kansas City. And 2 months into being there, I got shot in an alleyway doing graffiti. Like an idiot.
Like an idiot.
All right, we are going to wrap up for tonight. Do you guys
Awesome.
have anything you need to announce for giveaways?
Let me see some of your remark books there that you guys have been working on.
Did you do drawings for those remark books?
I did. I announced everybody in the comments. Our winners of the very cool. Oh, I can't figure out this camera. Okay.
Left is right.
Left is right.
left.
Patrick Partridge, Tracy Hoffman, James Marshall, Ross DeVore.
Awesome.
You guys all are getting those. John will ship those out probably this week. Oh, show them what we got in today. I don't know if everybody saw
Scotty, we need one more.
Step by Bloody Step, John.
There it is.
Oh, nice.
You guys, this book is really
It's a beautiful book.
beautiful.
This came out today in comic shops, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Today's the release date.
Yeah.
We still have
it's so
some copies
beautiful.
here, so
See if I can figure out how to flip the comic backwards.
it's really cool.
It's a beautiful book.
All visual, no words, text free.
Text free.
Text free.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful
It's like
book.
that Snake Eyes comic.
That's awesome. Like silent interlude.
Yep. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to hear us yap about all of our fun stuff. Columbo, Jim almost dying and making his mom die.
Me almost dying on the ski slopes.
Megan.
Let's not
Megan.
get carried away.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
It's the same as a
It's
shotgun.
the same thing as a Mossberg street
Street
sweeper.
sweeper.
To hear these guys accost me over not knowing that Elvira's still alive.
I don't know.
Apparently, it's common knowledge.
It's a big deal, man.
It's a big deal. It's something. Something.
Oh, yeah, it is.
For more of these, tune in to ScottieYoung.substack.com or run over to ScottieYoung.com. Subscribe to everything, and we will update you on when we do this next, and new product launches, and blah 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 blah, blah and all the fun stuff, and buy prints and
And go check out my website and sign
Oh,
up for
yeah.
my mailing list. KyleStrahm.com.
There you go.
KyleStrahm.com.
Jim, thanks for joining us again tonight. I feel like you're gonna be hopping in with us on Wednesdays now. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm just it's a good break. And it's nice to talk to people.
And it's super cold outside.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.